think I'm organized now. Getting my thoughts in order here. Alright, got it. Welcome back to the void. An onyx void. And we're here. I'm here. You're not here. You're not here. I'm here. I'm up at 5 in the morning at my local community center. Nobody's here. They finally put up the Christmas lights. And they're making it feel like it's that season. Although these Christmas lights are not on pine trees, you're not going to get that in the middle of the desert. A tree is a tree, I guess. They do this every year. I saw them actually getting the volunteers out here and putting them up. And usually around this time, I'd be searching for a bar or something to cozy into for a New Year's celebration. Because I'm the kind of weirdo that would go and search for a bar. You know, actually vet my bar that I want to go to and enjoy other random people's company. But that was years ago. I used to do that. That was when I was more social and I used to get out, and I only got out because I had a job in the area, in a stable job. Well, not stable, a more hourly job in the middle of the city. And on my way back from walking, I would pass by a lot of bars. Or on my way to the bank, I would pass by a bunch of bars as well. But everything's become commercialized. The bars are not these, most of them are not these holes in the walls that are just there because, you know, the community wants it there. It's just like, I think I'm gonna date myself. It's not like Cheers where everybody knows your name. And, you know, you could come in there, strike up a conversation with a random person. It's more for the almost do bro that last time I went in there, something like Zips, they were playing fantasy football and betting. And they had like blazers on and stuff. And it's just, I guess there's a form of camaraderie with that, but it's just not my sort of ball. And their nachos are terrible, by the way. Ugh. At least what I remember. They've probably improved. Who knows? I'm not going in there. But 5 a.m. Getting up at 3 a.m. to take a shower, to then go sit in a line at 4 a.m. 4:40, for somewhere into 4 o'clock is not where you want to be. It's not where you want to be in your career, life, or trying to get a job. But that's what it takes. Even though the staff that actually open the doors don't actually get there to 5:08, 5:07. They get there whenever they feel like. You are at their mercy. And you better be there to fight other people in the line, the work line. Because if you're not, you will not get sent out. You will be the last few people there that may have driven your car and wasted your gas. You may have actual skills that they need on the job, but you won't get work because it's a first come, first serve situation. And I'm going to leave pictures of what I'm talking about in the thumbnail of the lines and the rooms you don't want to be in. I've been taking pictures as kind of like this collage, you know, this reminder of what these times were like, because I've been here before. I've been in this room. I've been here at this company before it moved to the current location it's at. And I hop back and forth between it. You know, between that one and the ones in 2 cities over, and I'm not going to the one on the east side because that is too long of a ride for $15, $16, $17 an hour. And that's just what it is. I got work today. It's going to be a abysmal $15 an hour, where the minimum wage here is $14.70, so an extra 30 cents. And the sad part is it's been that way for years now. The wages haven't gone up. At this job, I've been here before, like I said. I've worked this company before. And I remember the guy there, one of the managers, and when I started working this year, a few months ago, reworking at this job, I remember one of the managers. I went up and talked to him, and he didn't remember me at first, but I asked him, "Hey, what are you still doing on the floor? Shouldn't you be a general manager by now?" And he looked at me with confusion. He's like, "No." I was like, "Man, you've been here like 6 years." He goes, "No, I've been here like 15 years. When I started, I had children. I had fucking toddlers." Yeah, toddlers, and still there's no corporate ladder to climb. He hasn't gotten up there. I guess it's kept him stable, considering the wages they're paying. But what a tough place to be. 3 years, and he seems to be in a definite managerial position. They bring him to the conference table, but regional manager, it should be a regional manager, should be something a little bit higher. Hell, he should own the company or own his own company or something, man. But that's what it is here in America. You can work 15 years and just barely hold your head above water. And it's another place where you're in the line, or you're in a line to get into a room, or you're in a company. You can just basically go nowhere, and it's pointless. I don't know how this guy is going to retire. I don't know if he's been saving retire. I don't know his whole story, but from what I see with my own eyes and what he's told me for the little information I got, this is his life. This is the end for him, the beginning and end, and he'll probably be here until 20 years, 2 decades of work, and he looks like he's nearing his, I don't know, late 40s. Well, he's near his 40s, mid 40s. What is that like? I don't know. I will never know. I would have left probably a long time ago and given up. But that brings me to the main topic of this video, where I want to really get into. What can you get done in 24 hours? You really think about that. I think I can make a whole few videos about that. Seeing as that I haven't had work until today for the last 3 days. Yesterday, I started doing things. I started really thinking about it. And instead of thinking about it, I started doing. It's like, what can I get done today that will get me closer to my goals? Well, first you have to establish what is your goals. I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of, like you said, equipment that is just sitting on the shelves not doing anything. And I have to go translate from Chinese to English to figure out what it does. So there's one goal right there. Figuring out the documentation of these microprocessors, microcontrollers, whatever you can call them, so I can actually use them, which I'm in the process of doing. Another one was get my weather station up and running and that involves converting the it's called an anemometer. It's a wind speed indicator is what I'm really trying to work with. I bought it for my job at Amazon to further advance the weather station, and I just never got to putting it together and figuring it out. But it requires, converting down a 5 to 25 volt analog signal down to something the microcontroller can read at possibly 3 volts. So there's a lot of code to that, and I've started on that. My final solar panel, I got 3 solar panels up, the 200 watts, and I finally got the materials, which I built out of pallets, just really tall pallets. You have to get a specific type of pallet, one that's a little bit longer than your traditional, was a 6x9 pallet. So I finally got that. I finally got the materials for that to drag that home. See, what else? I need to go get a wire brush so I can clean my cylinder head from my car, because that needs to be reassembled. I haven't gotten on that. Let's see, what other things I need to do? Finally cleaned my bathroom. It was needing some cleaning. It was dust everywhere. Let's see. There's so many other things. I'm done. That I tried to grind some leak code. Let's see. Why not, right? And I'm not going to get it right away, of course. I looked at it, I did some research. See, I revived an old YouTube channel that was originally supposed to be an automated news channel, which is where the weather station really comes in right now. That's why I'm trying to get back up. I finally got Google to let that go and let me back in. So there's that. I'll be working on the code for that. It's going to be a lot of JavaScript and whatnot, and Python scraping, web scraping. And I'll look into the legalities of it. Then I look into the legalities. I know you guys have been asking one of my subscribers. And by the way, thank you for liking and subscribing, all my subscribers out there. I am looking to the legalities of actually having Subway Surfer on the videos playing, so you guys don't get bored with just the commentary, with just me yapping. And it's kind of iffy. I think the bottom line on that is that it's not going to matter. Most video game makers don't mind that you put their content on your videos, but it's not going to matter until you're in court. And I think Nintendo has entered the chat. Super Smash Bros. They're going to smash you in court. But those are just the things I can get done in your day. Now, you're not going to, of course, use the 24 hours. You got to sleep at some point. But I'm just thinking, we have been conditioned to work your 8 hours. At least your 8 hours. Here in America, at least. I don't know what happens in Poland or Turkey. But here in America, we've been conditioned to work our 8 hours in our factory or whatever time task. And then go home, then be so drained from our jobs after years of working it that we just turn on a TV or a Netflix subscription or a subscription service, and we veg out until we fall asleep on the couch. And that's become so many people's lives, but our lives are being uprooted, and we really have to get back to thinking, what can we do with our time? We're not going to get the time back. No, once that minute or so, that second or so passes, you can't get that back. Well, you can. It just requires more energy that you want to put into it. It requires more energy and dollars than you want to put in it for getting that time back. You have to go into outer space and then loop around the planet and it gets complicated. But you can get it back, but most likely your normal average person is not going to get that time back. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's just my thoughts, me yapping into the void. Once again, like and subscribe if you want this to become part of my time traded for some kind of currency, a few pennies or whatever. It'd be nice. And let me know in the comments, you guys do with your day, your 24 hours, if you don't mind sharing. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.